We've seen some pretty.
All right. That was fun. We're back.
We're going to finish this.
So we've got the chat going. We're back on a second video.
So we're back on a second video. This was our first live stream / video. We are starting over. Well, not the whole thing, but we're just picking up from the topic of love and comics. Hopefully everyone sees that this video is live.
Yeah, well, we already have Barbarian Kung Fu and John Comics with Kids
good.
and Big Lion Cat.
We're so sorry, guys. this was our first go at it. And to be honest with you, we have all these wires everywhere and the power cord on the laptop
just wasn't plugged in.
Not all the way. So sorry. But
that's what happens, right?
But we just get to do 2 live streams as our first video.
Yay!
So we were talking about love and comics because we were, with Valentine's coming up, and Dave posed the question, Kachung posed the question. What was the question?
The question was, who has the least trouble with their relationship? There's always complications. So yeah, that was really our question to the chat. I was thinking maybe Sue Storm, right? Invisible Girl, Invisible Woman. I don't read much Fantastic Four. And Reed Richards. They got it pretty good, I guess. I think it's mainly because they're both superheroes. I think it helps that.
We have 3. So we're gonna have this chat. We're gonna end an intimate chat.
Intimate chat with the 3 people in the chat. Oh, John said Lois and Clark. That is, yeah. I think that's a really good one.
As far as what?
Having a stable relationship.
Yeah, I think that they've done so many storylines of that, and they usually always kind of get to work it out.
And I think the biggest issue with a superhero having a normal person as their partner, they're always going and saving, having to save them. The problem then becomes if someone finds out who you are as a superhero, then you're in trouble. Because then your own family's in jeopardy. I think Spider-Man's come across that multiple times. But if you have another superhero as a partner, maybe there's things that help things work out. You're both fighting crime and villains together. And people might not necessarily know who you are, and if they don't, then you're pretty good.
We have John's Comic with Kids again, Barbarian Kung Fu, and Big Lion Cat. So that's
John and Garfield. I guess that's comics, right? We kind of, yeah.
Well, Garfield's like Archer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Archer and the Couch.
Archer and the Couch.
Ren and Stimpy, Kung Fu said. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Girl, and Superman and Lois. Yeah.
So let's show some books.
All right.
So we picked out some of our books from our own personal collections that had
some kind of love theme.
Love theme to it. And this was one I got from our local comic book store. This one. And it's a really old book. Never heard of it, to be honest. And then I also got this one. And they have a really great 25-cent box. And it's a place that I like to go digging around when I don't want to spend a lot of money. Dave calls it my box.
It's her box, or it's the other nickname for the box is the West Coast Avenger box.
There's a lot of West Coast Avengers.
No one picks those out.
It's like 80% West Coast Avengers. But I actually read this story. I mean, the book's not in great shape, so it's not like it super duper matters. But it has, someone wrote on it, which I feel like that happens a lot with these old books. Like someone decided to just like write a W.
Their name or their initials.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure.
They think that, I saw a Spider-Man the other day. It was an old one. And the guy drew his webbing under his arms, like the original costume. He has that webbing or whatever under his arms. And the person decided that, hey, he should still have this. That's not Spider-Man without it. So he, used a pen and drew it in.
Crazy.
On an old Spider-Man book. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, this book, I read through it and actually has a series of stories in it. But to be perfectly honest, all of the stories are about women getting like kind of objectified and abused.
Popcorn. Someone mentioned the popcorn.
Oh, the popcorn machine. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I got it from my mom. She is always finding random stuff. She has a very
eclectic
collection of things, and
antiques.
And she's
a lot of it's pretty good.
She's always doing stuff for people, and they're always like giving her stuff. So someone gave her a popcorn machine, and then she was like, "You and Dave need this popcorn machine."
Yep, we need it.
So we have this really cool popcorn machine.
Among other things, the whole house is full of things from
my mom.
Her mom.
So there are a lot of things in this room actually that are from my mom. There's actually maybe we'll do a video the other way another time, but my mom got like this canvas painting of me it doesn't look like me, but it's like she got it done and traded something for it, and
it's a long way from Bob Ross, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have like an easel over here and that I got from my mom.
Just random stuff.
So
anyway, but popcorn machine's pretty cool. And we're using it right now, not for popcorn, but just to hold Maleficent's wings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a couple of Buddhas.
So I thought this story was interesting. The stories, I guess you should say, but I felt like, it wasn't really, it's a kooky love story. I just like I like things that are different. So I'd never seen these before. And so
they're pretty old.
Yeah. And Barbarian Kung Fu said 25 cent. Is it Charlton?
Charlton Comics.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost had a phonetic problem. So
not quite as old as the comics that JD collects, or who else are the old have the older books.
Some people have some really cool old books.
Yeah, they talk about.
I would love to have like a Golden Age book. I think I might have one Silver Age book, but those Golden Age books, you have to drop some serious cash. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
it's a big commitment.
And they fall apart easier. I guess they're made from pulp more than actual paper.
Are these made from pulp?
I don't think they're old enough, but
it's kind of weird. Like the paper on this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like really scaly. It's like it has like, do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like ridges. But that was one of my picks.
I got these. If anyone's read the What Ifs. What if the Amazing Spider-Man didn't marry Mary Jane, and what if he actually married the Black Cat instead? So
those are pretty cool.
I think in the real story, Spider-Man, they end up marrying Mary Jane. He ends up marrying Mary Jane, and there's some altercation with her dad. But in this, who's the Spider Slayer, the robot, and in this, he's like, well, it's putting your family in jeopardy. I don't think I can marry you, and they're like, what?
Let me hold them for
what
you
the heck?
while you chat about it. I can do that.
Thank you. And so he ends up with the black cat, and in the real story, which is this one, he reveals who she is. He reveals who he is, and she's like, "What the heck? You're just a real person?"
I didn't see that one. That's cool.
Yeah. And then she kind of flips out a bit, and kind of is weirded out that Spider-Man's just a real person. He's not
cool anymore.
He's not cool anymore. So, she doesn't really like him that much anymore because he's just a real guy. He's not a superhero.
Lame.
So, and then in the what if he, they marry, and then there's a fight with Paladin and Sandman. What? No, I can't even remember what happens. But yeah, get these, find out what happens, because they're pretty cool stories from what I remember.
Yeah, I will say too, I'm really glad we did this, but I will say that, I feel I've always been like an inner geek, I did all kinds of stuff in school, but, I always did video games when I was growing up, and then I transitioned out of video games and went to college, and I was like, well, I'm going to party. That's what I did. I graduated, but I got a little focused on that instead of video games. And then I was playing World of Warcraft. I played that for like 6 years. So I know a lot of these characters just because I've watched like every comic book movie there is. But
she's a better gamer than I am. She kicks my butt in Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, I do love to pull out some Mortal Kombat when I just need to get out some frustration, because I know my cheat moves. The cheat moves, like the side sweeps and things like that. So sometimes I'll let him play, but usually I'll just win. So
Big Lion Cat said that he got his wife a Betty Boop gumball machine that you have to put quarters in.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's neat.
Some savings. And
then Kung Fu said there's a difference between pulps and Golden Age comics. I guess the pulps are older.
Okay.
Before Golden Age. So we're talking, less than 10 cents and less. Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Issue said, now you guys can be guests on my show with the Hulk nuts.
Oh, yay. That'd be fun.
We can, yeah.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Be awkward on their channel.
Yeah. So, this is my next love story. I will say, I don't know if it's really a love story, but it's something that I love. So that's why I did it. That could be anything in my box, but I felt like this kind of reflected, a little bit about my personality, and with this being our first live stream. But this was a really cool Spider-Man fairy tales. So I hadn't really seen these before. I was like, that is awesome.
Very cool.
I was like, I've never seen Spider-Man wearing complete armor like that. And Dave has a lot of Spider-Man books. So
yeah, makes you wonder if he needs the armor, honestly.
Well, yeah, but he's got like,
does he need a sword?
The shield is even armor. It's just really, really, really cool. So
he's kind of a weapon in himself.
Yeah.
With his webs and stuff.
Yeah, and he's got you can shoot the web itself, and I feel like that web can do pretty much anything. So, right. But apparently this guy needs some armor. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I've always loved fantasy, so I had to get it.
Issue says he's going to be nice. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that.
But he's been really nice tonight.
No. Issues, you got a big heart, mate.
Letting us ease into it without complete and utter embarrassment. So.
Yeah, that was another competition I won. I'm like John with luck. John's Comics with Kids always wins competitions.
Dave has good luck.
And I do too.
We need to win the lotto, but
Right.
that would be
I
great.
should probably get one of those tickets instead. But I won one of Issue's contests actually, and it was because of this Star Wars I showed earlier.
Oh, look,
He
Big
chose
Lion
me.
Cat says, he goes, I got 2 with Batman with armor.
Oh,
I
neat.
don't know if I've seen that one.
Did he talk about his auction? Should go check out his auction.
Oh, when's this auction?
Saturday.
Oh, cool, yeah. Some of the auctions have been really cool. I feel like I've been learning a lot from the auctions. I mean, not to sidestep this love story thing, but like I feel like John has been doing a really great job with his auctions, and also White Whale as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then
He kept
NYC
adding books.
Comics came in with like this whole new like thing where he was like, well, for $10 more, I'm gonna add these 3 books.
That might have been White Whale's idea because he kept stacking books into that box. He was like, "I'm gonna keep."
It was smart.
Adding books.
It was smart. It was a smart way.
Yeah, why not?
To keep it going. So that was pretty cool. And then we saw something really cool over on Economics and Comics auction as well. He had
oh my God, that guy.
the cover.
Oh right.
The shiny cover.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an unused cover.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't on a book. There was no staples. It was what was that? Foil cover. Some guy really wanted it.
You knew what it was. We were talking about it the other day in the car.
Wasn't an X. Oh, Alpha.
It was Alpha. Alpha.
X-Men Alpha. I can't.
Regardless, the auction started off, and he
wanted 120 for it or something.
No, something. I think he was like starting off and not even sure, and it was like 120, and then all of a sudden, like they rolled the dice over it.
Yeah, some guy said
it was crazy.
Roll the dice if it's this 400, if it's that 800, and like all of a sudden he's got big money on this thing. But I mean, he really wanted it. It must have been something he loved. So.
John said, the video hasn't been uploaded yet. I'm supposed to keep it a secret, I think. I don't know. That's what that's about.
Did they just let it cut all?
No, we watched it. We watched that.
What video?
I think we were talking about the auctions that we saw. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. I think maybe he's talking about something in the chat. Let's hope that's what's happening.
Well, we'll stop talking about that.
So some of the other books that I have, this one still has the price tag on it, sorry, but I did not rebag and board it. I have some bags and boards, so I really should have done that. But we were setting up our microphone and other things. But this one is a classic.
Rogue and Gambit. Someone mentioned that earlier as a couple.
I got it for $1.
She loves her bargains.
I do love a good deal. So it's in great shape. I mean, it's not like unbelievable shape, but it's got a couple little inclusions on the sides and stuff. But that's just when books get old and they weren't super duper cared for. So what do you expect? But
Issue said he has a huge heart and he keeps it in a jar in his dresser.
Oh, that's nice.
And John just won another one. Wow.
That's crazy.
Dude, killing it with the competitions.
John bought some subscription boxes, and now he's collecting with all his good luck.
Kung Fu asked me if I ever got the extra mail call winning box. It's coming. I think it's trapped in the snow somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll get here. I think there's a Wonder Woman or something. I won out of 170 people or something.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy luck.
Crazy.
Issues is a slow shipper. Yet we know Issues is a slow shipper.
But when he ships his packages, he puts a lot of thought into them. Yeah. So it's worth waiting for.
We received the winnings from that first one, and we just had to.
It was so nice.
Box up some comics and send them back. Not the same ones, obviously.
Right.
No, we don't want these. No, we like giving comics out and supporting the community that way. I think the AOK is one of the best things about this community, and we love that. One of the things that we love doing. So I think we'll probably do a giveaway at some stage if we make it to 10 subscribers. Oh, that's so cool. I don't know what's the first goal.
I don't know how many subscribers.
I think people maybe do 100. I think the 100 is the first goal.
Is that when people do it? I think 100. If we actually get to 100 subscribers, I mean, right? I mean, I'm gonna be realistic.
We may end up just sending comics out
We'll
to
send some cool
everybody
stuff.
anyway.
We may be showing some books that aren't like super exciting, but we have some really cool stuff in our collection as well, I think. So.
Yeah. Oh, lots of people have that book.
Which one?
The Rogue and Gambit book.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I love books like this too. I feel like I like when it's gonna sound really weird, but I like when the characters are very large on the cover, and you can see a lot of the art. I'm a super creative, so I love very artistic type things. Like when it gets really small and granular, it's not really my thing.
Gotta be front and center.
But I do. It's a great cover. I mean,
NYC's in the chat. Oh, he's got to go.
Okay.
No worries, mate.
Bye.
Catch
Thanks
you
for coming
later.
by.
Yeah, we're active. We're active now. Look out.
Active wear.
Activewear.
This one's pretty cool too. It's not really a love cover, but I felt like it was really in line with that other cover as well. Like I felt like they were both very similar in style and
I'm not going to read what Issues wrote.
why? Is it mean?
No, it's not mean.
Oh. Okay.
He cried. Oh, I said it.
He cried.
No, he said that we put a lot more thought into our box than it. That's not true.
Aww.
You put lots of thought into the box.
You know what? Issues, honestly, I think about, and John and anyone else that we have sent an A-OK to, I think about you guys all the time. And whenever we go to the comic book store or whether I'm ordering something online, I honestly love buying for you guys as much as I love buying for us. Like it just, you put out such great content and you seem like such great people. I think you are great people, and we really enjoy being able to do something for you guys. So,
John owns the randomizer technology. That's his trick to winning.
Right, that makes sense now. That makes sense now. He's not really a teacher. He just
they don't use those ball rolling things like at bingo. I don't know what they're called.
So show a book.
I got some books. I got a whole stack. Not really.
I loved your sequence of the other ones, the Spider-Man. That was cool.
This so this is a love story, man. Cyclops and Jean Grey. They were together, then they were not together, and then she died, and then she came back, and then she died, and then she came back. Anyway, so this is a pretty tumultuous thing, especially when you mix someone else in, who's probably my favorite character in the X-Men universe. So this is just before she dies, or I'm not sure if she dies in this episode in this book. In this episode.
Hulu.
And so once she's died, Madeline Pryor comes along, Mastermind, creates her as a clone of Jean Grey. And so Cyclops is enamored by this woman. And I think he says something like...
Big Lion says, I have that book, X-Men, big fan. I have about 50 CGC X-Men. Wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot of CGC.
That's an X-Men fan.
I'm going to guess you have a CGC membership.
Madeline Pryor, very underutilized. I think they should probably bring her into the MCU. I think it'd be great. But she causes this love triangle with dead Jean Grey. Anyway, Cyclops is like, oh, Jean Grey? And she's like, no, man, I'm someone else. And so in this episode, I keep saying episode, in this issue, I'm very much a TV guy as well. But so this is when Cyclops marries Madeline Pryor. Mastermind takes over her, uses her, because she's a clone of Jean Grey. She's able to use the Phoenix Force and pretty much everything that Jean Grey can do. But she snaps out of it, and they get married.
That's cool.
But then what happens? Jean Grey comes back, and that causes a big commotion. And in this story, Cyclops and Jean Grey team up and create these guys, X Factor, and then Madeline Pryor's kind of left to the wayside. He breaks up with her, and is like, I gotta just take off with Jean Grey because she's my first love, and sorry. He walks out on her, which is pretty bad. I mean, Cyclops is not very good for doing that. I think he caused an uproar in the universe for doing that. And if it was the other way around, I would love to see a what if story. What if Madeline Pryor walked out on Cyclops and he was still in love with her? Would he become the Goblin King? I don't know. Maybe. But she became the Goblin Queen, had a baby with Cyclops, who turns out to be Cable. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm. We have 2 of those covers.
Yeah, this is awesome. This Inferno series is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's read it, she comes in from another dimension with all the goblins, and
I got issue says she's hot.
She's hot.
She's hot.
And she sick. She brings in all the goblins and the stuff from the other dimension, and mailboxes start talking and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Hi, Pop.Comics.
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 Hey. What's
and
that
here's
one?
This, that was the last one in your
This
shop.
is the last one. Finally, down the track, Cyclops and Jean Grey get married. And this is issue 30. So this is after Rogue and Gambit get together. So, apparently the dress is pretty good, huh?
You just said,
I think there's like letters to the editor about how cool the dress is. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Fashion in comics. There's another topic for somebody to run with.
So these are my other love-related comics. This one is not a love story. I keep saying that, but this one is something else I love. Hugs. This is Grumble, and this is such a cool story. I've been trying to actually get the entire run of this. I have it on my pull list, but unfortunately, I think Black Diamond was behind on getting a couple of the issues to our LCS, so they've been trying to hunt it down. I don't know if I'll get it, to be perfectly honest. So
it might come.
Maybe. I mean, hopefully, if they get it, I'll get it. So hopefully that happens. But Kachung was actually able to get. You want to get shown this cover? This one was the variant with the chat bubble.
Speech bubbles.
It's pretty cool.
I just grabbed it thinking it was the regular cover, and sure enough, I find out on the Hot 10 that it's a speech bubble variant, and one in 1,000.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever that means.
It means that people can mark it up. So that's what it means. And then this was one of the covers that came out this week. And I picked this mostly because,
she loves it.
I do love it. But I feel like, to me, it's kind of an interesting, she's controlling him with a little robotic, I guess, controller. And,
remote control.
Yeah, I like Scarlet Witch and
Vision.
Yeah, Vision.
She's controlling her vision.
And, I feel like sometimes that maybe men can feel like this is what love feels like. So I thought it would be pretty funny. And, but mostly I thought it was a really, really cool cover, and Scarlet Witch is pretty awesome.
What was the joke with her? She has something she has something in common with Daredevil. She lost her vision.
Right. There you go. Yeah, and then this was my my last love cover, and it was the Fantastic Four, the wedding, and
of course.
I love the Thing. I feel so bad for him, honestly. I feel like he has it like the toughest out of that whole crew. You know, like he doesn't get to.
He's undervalued.
Yeah.
You know, he's
undervalued.
Made of rocks.
And I feel like he's kind of discarded a little bit, like in a lot of the.
He's like leaving dirt everywhere.
He's leaving dirt everywhere. But I mean, also too, I feel like he's undervalued in the comic community as well, because I feel like no matter where I go, I can find a Thing book in any dollar bin, in any 25-cent bin. Like nobody like ever really wants to give him some love, and I don't know. I'm always rooting for the underdog, so I love the Thing, and I have a lot of the Thing books, even though they're worth nothing in monetary value. They're worth a lot to me, so I just really like them.
Kung Fu's got to dip out. It's getting pretty late.
I think we're gonna dip out as well.
He said because he's in town, so maybe we'll meet up with him one day.
Oh, does he? Where does he live?
I think south of Atlanta somewhere. I'm not sure.
Oh,
we're in Atlanta.
That's cool. Very cool. You should go by my parents' basement.
Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, the comic section is really cool. And to be honest with you, since it's not a comic book store.
It's a restaurant.
Well, it's yeah. But they have a whole comic book section, and they have arcade games and stuff like that, which is really cool.
A lot of back issues.
And they have a lot of back issues because people aren't really going through there and picking through there all the time. So sometimes you can find some cool stuff in there.
Cool.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for sticking around with our technical issues.
Appreciate it.
We will be more cognizant of that next time.
And we'll be including a bit of cosplay in future videos.
It's coming up.
You know, I know that Matt Thanatos and Fire Guy Ryan are talking about the Green Lantern, so I'm going to be in on that. I think I'd like to learn a bit more about DC, and I think the Green Lantern is a good start. But also, we've been kind of pulled into a group for next Dragon Con this year, doing all the lanterns. So there's a different person doing a different colored lantern. And I'm orange, Greed, Laughley's. So that's going to be the biggest challenge for me.
Star Sapphire.
She's Star Sapphire. So I think reading the comics along with those guys in their chat will be pretty cool. And then maybe we can show some progress as those guys go down the road, that long road of Green Lantern. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to everyone that was in the chat.
Yeah, Big Lion, we're in Atlanta. We actually, we live probably like 20 minutes outside of
near the Big Rock.
The city, like right outside the perimeter. So if you're around, definitely let us know, and we can meet up and grab a bite to eat, see some comics. I don't know. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Thanks for watching on the rewind if you do. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.